one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Proud to be hanging out with you inside of the Cafe Kubal studios for a very, very special day. And so much coming up on today's broadcast here inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. You are watching on facebook.com/livenowdt, as well as youtube.com/wakeupcall DT, and of course, in hour number 2, you'll be able to go to mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage to listen in. Typically, that is all the way through, but because we're starting with the video special with Bo, we're right here on Facebook and YouTube primarily as we get this rocket rolling. From the Cafe Kubal studios, Cafe Kubal with 5 locations in your community on 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 208 North Townsend Street, where they also have Cafe Kubal Co-works, and of course on 401 South Salina Street in Syracuse, and their newest location at 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York. So make sure you get your way out to Cafe Kubal today to fill your cup with whatever you would like: coffee, tea, chai, as well as all of their awesome, as far as their desserts and their sandwiches and everything that they offer on their full menu. They have their cold brew ready for you to take right there in the can, and so many great things. And obviously their coffee is right there, and you can pick your favorites and take that with you. So much to bring with you. They even have masks that you could take. They have sweatshirts and everything for Cafe Kubal. So when you go in, it's an adventure to any single location, because each location, in a really cool way, they're all different, which is really awesome. So going to a different Cafe Kubal is having a different experience every time. So make sure that you go in there today and let them know that Wake Up Call sent you, and obviously support local here in our community. Inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', we're going to start the show off in hour number 1 with my guy Bo Edmundson. Bo Edmundson will be joining the show, 2023 quarterback out of Lake Travis in Texas, who has offers already as a 2023 quarterback, has offers from SMU, UTSA, and Oklahoma State. He is with me today to tell his story on video, and so I'll be up here in Central New York. He'll be down there in Texas, and we'll have a great time this morning speaking on his road, his journey. And then in hour number 2, we'll start a new video here on Facebook as well as on YouTube on the Fantasy Football Power Hour. We do that every single Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time with my partner Mike Sofka of Hall of Fame FantasyFootball.com. You can check him out there. You can check us out together on Facebook's group, which you have to ask to join. That is Winning Fantasy Football. The group is Winning Fantasy Football, and you can join us there. So the Fantasy Football Power Hour, proudly presented by the Wildcat Sports Pub, will have its own video here on Facebook and YouTube, and you'll be able to listen on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as on wakeupcalldt.com at 10 a.m. Eastern Time this morning. So, with all of that being said, we're going to take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, my special with Mr. Bo Edmundson comes to you right here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Look forward to the opportunity of sharing this wonderful, wonderful journey with Bo with you right after this fast break. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand butter chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on Facebook Live on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT, as well as on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. And of course, while you're watching here, you can also listen on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT and on the homepage of WakeUpCallDT.com where the MixLR feed is embedded. This is the Cafe Kubal Studios, and we are here with Bo Edmundson, and I am so happy that Bo is here with me. Bo is a quarterback down in the great state of Texas, Lake Travis. You see, folks, that I wear the right attire when I'm talking to Bo. So, Bo, how are we doing? What's up?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing well. How does the hat look? Am I rocking it okay? Am I doing it nice?
That's the way to do it.
All right. I'm very happy to have Lake Travis. I got to tell you, it fits my head perfectly, and I love this style of it. And, it just, as soon as I put it on, it just fit. And, I think that's when, you're in a good place with good people, when the size was just right, so to speak. So I guess I should have always been wearing a Lake Travis hat.
Exactly.
So you got more hair than I got it all shaved. You got a bunch going on. So how do you
getting a haircut on Monday?
Okay. I was going to say, how do you fit all this in this hat? So how do you make it work?
Just kind of gotta just shove it all in there, I guess.
Yeah, you got it. You got that like strawberry blonde kind of look too.
Exactly.
So Bo, tell me, there's a lot of stuff that's gone on since the last time we spoke. For those that don't know, Bo Edmundson down in Lake Travis in Texas, playing quarterback, got your first offer from SMU. Let's go back to that. For the people that don't know, I know SMU very well in Sonny Dykes because I cover the American Athletic Conference. Since its institution back in 2013 or whatever it may be, 2012, 13. What can you tell me about the offer from SMU and the fact that they opened the gateway for your recruitment, essentially?
I mean, that was crazy. Just to have somebody say that they believe in me pretty much to carry their team to the next level. I mean, that was pretty cool. I got a text from my coaches the night before saying, "Hey, call this." I'm call the coach at SMU. And I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool. This is going to be my first college call."
Yeah. And
they happened to offer me, which was really, really something special.
And when you got that offer, Bo, just bring me through that. Bring me into that. Getting that offer, and when they told you, "Hey, call this number." Just help me live in that moment with you, just what that was like to have that call, to know that it was real. This wasn't a joke. You weren't getting punked. Like, this is real life. This is the first offer to open the door.
It really, when I like felt like it was real, as I called my coach and I was like, "Hey, is this real?" He goes, "Yeah, congrats." I was like, "Whoa." And that's when it really hit me. I was like, "Whoa, this is pretty cool."
You get that call from SMU, or you call that number, and it all comes to life. What do you remember from the call?
Just this first call, just getting to know the coaches. And then what really stood out to me is I was talking to Coach Martin, and then he goes, "I'm going to put Coach Riley on the phone." And I knew he was the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach at the time, which he still is. And I was like, "Oh, this is going to be pretty cool." So he gets on the phone, and then he opens up the offer to me, which was awesome.
And you get to talk to those coaches, Coach Martin and Coach Riley, Josh Martin, the tight ends coach, and you mentioned Garrett Riley, the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. What can you tell me about Josh Martin and Garrett Riley, and what it was like to be on the phone with these gentlemen?
I mean, just how just amazing it was to just be on the phone with them. I mean, they're what I want to do in my life. I mean, they are the people who allow me to do it. I mean, they're opening the offer to me, and it was awesome. I watched them play every Saturday, and it was pretty cool to talk to that coach.
And for you, like you said, you watch SMU play every Saturday. I'm sure the American Athletic loves hearing that. What do you like about SMU? What do you like about watching them?
They throw the ball. They can throw it. They throw it a lot of times in the game, and that's something that obviously a quarterback who likes to throw likes.
And seeing how often they throw the ball and what Sonny Dykes has done. Shane Buechele, what he's been able to do. What did you take away from, knowing that they air it out, and just what Shane was able to do? Because he obviously, made himself a pretty nice name inside of the American and, beyond to some people as well.
I mean, just seeing what he did at SMU coming from Texas, and exactly what Garrett Gilbert did coming from Texas to SMU, and the career that Garrett Gilbert has had and the career that Shane Buechele is going to have in the NFL. I mean, those are two great examples of what SMU produces.
Did you get a chance to talk to Sonny Dykes, get anything from him, any letter from the head coach, any connection there?
No connection quite yet. No, yes, I did talk to him on the phone when I talked to him. So it was pretty cool. I also talked to Sonny Dykes, which was awesome.
So you having that, to have that first offer, and not just be your first offer, but to come from the state of Texas where you live, what does that mean? Like, what weight does that hold, that when your recruitment opens, it's in the state of Texas? Because we know when it comes to Texas, that's a big state for football recruiting. And when it comes to quarterbacks, namely, that's a very respectable state when it comes to, gunslingers, so to speak. So when a school in Texas says, "Bo, we think that you're a D1A player, we think you're an FBS player," that's got to be special in and of itself. But then on top of that, it's your home state, and it's a state that respects the quarterback position and is respected around the country as well.
I mean, I grew up 45 minutes from SMU, and like just always seeing SMU is like, oh, that campus, that's something nice. And been to their stadium, it's crazy just to be able to like, oh, I can play there. It's something special.
And so after SMU, you get UTSA, Texas San Antonio. Bring me into that offer and what you can say about what you know about UTSA.
So the wide receiver coach there was our old offensive coordinator, and Coach Stein.
Okay.
So after my SMU call, and then I posted my offer on Twitter, I get another text from Coach Carter saying, "Hey, call Coach Stein, FaceTime him, Coach Stein." And I was like, "Oh boy, this is going to be exciting." And Coach Stein, we haven't talked to him in probably like 5-6 months since he's left LT, and that was the first time I got to reconnect with him, and he offered me, and it was awesome.
So, to have Coach Stein, I mean, to already have that connection with him and to have that, like, hey, just give him a phone call and, just, FaceTime him, see what he has to say. How surreal and just kind of unique was that he was on your coaching staff and then here he is at UTSA offering you to come to college after he's obviously worked with you in high school?
I mean, it was crazy just like seeing him go to the next level and seeing what he sees in me and giving me an opportunity in the next level.
In Conference USA with UTSA, I mean, you got a Conference USA and an American Athletic Conference. When you get offers from different conferences, I would imagine that from my years of covering this, that it opens the eyes of those that are looking through that. SMU gives you an offer, East Carolina, UCF, USF, Navy, Memphis, they're all going to look at this and say, okay, who's this guy? Who's Bo Edmundson? Because SMU thinks that he is worth it. So they look, and in Conference USA, same thing. UTSA gives you an offer. The rest of Conference USA is checking it out. So not only to have those first couple offers, but what did it mean to you that they came from two different conferences, which opens the doorway to, two totally different groups of teams that can, check you on and obviously look into you a little bit deeper once one of the teams offers from that conference. Obviously, to me, the conference is looking at you after that.
Yeah, I mean, it just opens the door for so many other schools to reach out to you, contact Coach Mangino, our offensive coordinator, who him and Coach Carter do the recruiting. It opens the door for all those other schools, which is just a lot more schools, a lot more eyes.
And seeing the schools that we have here inside of Conference USA, as well as I spoke about the American Athletic and speaking to Conference USA and what they have within it. I mean, we know that there's other pieces in here. There's Southern Miss, there's North Texas that is there, keeping us in the state of Texas. You got teams like Marshall and a lot of teams in the South, and UTEP and whatnot. So does that, for you too, once Texas San Antonio says something, does that kind of get your wheels turning like, okay, UTEP's there, Rice is there, there's these other schools that are, right around the corner as well?
I haven't really thought of that much, but that's a good point. I mean, obviously I thought about the other schools like, oh, their conference, like they'll be checking it out. But I haven't thought of like the other schools, like you said, you mentioned Rice and then North Texas. I mean, those are some pretty good schools. I mean, Coach Mangino, our offensive coordinator, came from North Texas.
Yeah.
So that'd be pretty cool.
Speaking here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios with Bo Edmundson, 2023 pro-style quarterback coming from Lake Travis. The offer after SMU and UTSA, Oklahoma State, which is 3 offers, 3 different conferences, continuing the story of when one school from a conference offers you, it opens the door potentially to the entire conference. Oklahoma State, bring me in. I mean, I respect all the offers and everything that comes through, and I see Oklahoma State, and I see the way that they sling it and the way that they play in the Big 12. This has got to get you stoked.
I mean, Oklahoma State, I mean, it explains itself. Their football, it's crazy. Just the way, the environment in their stadium, just watching the games on TV, I mean, seeing the people pound the pad with the paddles that's crazy. And just seeing how many times they throw the football, seeing what Coach Gundy's done there and what Coach Rattay is going to do there is really cool.
Oklahoma State for you, did you know a lot about them growing up? Is it something that you've kind of gotten to learn over time? Did you look more into them now? Tell me about Oklahoma State from your point of view.
So I've been just watching them. I haven't watched them like I'm watching them. I just watch them seeing games like Texas plays them or TCU plays them or any other Big 12 school plays them. I watch them, and every single time I'm like, Oklahoma State always has a chance in every game they play. And that's
the conference has, like you said, looking at the Big 12, the TCUs, the West Virginias, the Texas Techs, obviously the rivalry with Oklahoma, and Baylor being inside of there as well. This is another conference that can open the doorway to so much, and Oklahoma State opening the doorway to the NFL as well. Just, speak with me about that aspect. And now Oklahoma State has done this, and SMU and UTSA. It's only going to keep rocking from here. If you put your work in and you do what you need to do, these schools that are offering you are definitely opening doorways for you. What does Oklahoma State do for you, in your opinion, as far as a doorway?
I mean, it's obviously a contender for me to go there. I mean, I would see myself at Oklahoma State. Just the way how many times they throw the ball, the way they play. I mean, and it opens so many other opportunities open up.
So we look at this, Bo, and we have SMU, Oklahoma State, UTSA, two teams in the state of Texas, one team close by in Oklahoma. What does the rest of the country need to know about Bo Edmundson?
I don't know, just hopefully watch my film and then see if you like me.
How do you keep, in 2023, we got time, right? We just started in 2021. We got a couple of years. How do you stay focused? Because some people get the offer and they think, okay, I got an offer, I'm big time, I'm awesome. And then they stop working, forgetting the fact that not only can that take other offers from you, but you can lose offers. Those are exploding offers. So how do you stay focused, stay poised, and say, you know what, I got the offer today from SMU and UTSA and Oklahoma State, but I have to keep working in order to keep it?
It's just being patient. Just know I'm still only a sophomore, and some of the schools are still trying to get through their junior recruiting classes, and they're not looking at so much sophomore film yet. So just staying patient, and I mean, if you work hard enough, schools are going to come.
Your mom came from upstate New York. Your family's down in Texas now. What can you say about growing up in Texas, being around this area? I think there's talent all over the country. I think there's talent here in upstate New York. Obviously, there's talent down in Texas.
Colleges are going to be looking at Texas 6A D1 football. I mean, the football doesn't get better than that at the high school level. So Texas just brought me up, just seeing everybody win, and I mean, winning is expected, to be honest.
What have you learned about yourself as a quarterback with the competition that you have in Texas? What has the competition taught you?
Just keep working. Everybody has one piece. Like, everybody has their tools. Just what tools do you have? And don't try and copy that. Just try and be yourself and just try and just work.
So for you, what are the tools? What are the things that make Bo Edmundson so special? What do you think are the best pieces of your game at this point?
I think I just know where to go with the football. Coach Mangino is the best person at telling me where to go. He tells me, if this guy goes here, I'm going to go here. And just knowing that and making my reads just be like, just muscle memory that's helped me a lot. So
your muscle memory, you're remembering these things. How did you train your body to be? I mean, does it come naturally to you? How much of it is natural and how much of it is taught, so to speak?
I don't know. A lot of it is taught. With our offense, you got to pay close attention to the small details. With your drop, with where the ball is, with what coverage they're in, you got to really pay attention to everything. And yeah, just pay attention to everything.
Where in your game have you improved the most?
I feel like I've improved the most in knowing where to go with the football placement, and now I'm controlling the offense. I'm starting to step up and be a leader. Last year, I was still a sophomore in a team which I really haven't bonded with, because we didn't have a Cavs course, which is our summer workouts. We didn't have a spring ball.
Yeah.
And I didn't really get to bond with those guys. So I wasn't a voice in the offense, but this year, now I'm starting to voice out, and I know where everybody's supposed to be. I'll sometimes stop and scoot a receiver in or out a little bit. And that's what I feel like you just got to pay close attention to.
So for you, finding that leadership, you were kind of, maybe a little bit unexpectedly thrown into being at the quarterback. Bring me into what happened in this past season that put you in at quarterback.
So I got a call from Coach Mangino this summer, or just right as football was about to start, and we knew we were going to play. This is
Yeah.
when you're like, all right, we're playing. And Coach Mangino had a call with all the quarterbacks saying where we're going to be. And he told me that I was going to be on JV, and I was completely fine with that. I knew I just had to command and work the JV team.
Yeah.
And then sadly Nate got in he broke his finger, and then I wasn't starting at the time at that point. I still had to keep working. It took me about 3 weeks. So Nate got hurt like second week off of spring or like the summer football when we started. And I got the call that I was starting before the week before the first game, which was about a month after when Nate got hurt.
So you get the call. You got about a month to prepare. You thought you were going to be on JV. Now you're going to be on varsity. And a month into it, you have a week before your first game. What's going through your mind? What emotions? What's happening when you're prepping for JV? He gets hurt, and then a month goes by, and they tell you a week before game one, guess what, Bo? You're our varsity quarterback.
Well, I started prepping my mind a little bit. I played pretty well in the scrimmage right before the first week, so I kind of knew. But once Coach Mangino called me and like it was like set in stone, he was like, "Hey, you're going to start week one for us." In my mind, I was like, "What?" I didn't even know what I was thinking about at that point. Everything was crazy.
How, in your opinion, how did the season go with you at quarterback? What did you learn? What did you take away from it? What can you tell me about it?
I learned that every game is important. And, I played 5 games this year because I got hurt. Every rep is important. Every game is important. Every play is important. Don't take anything for granted.
And in you doing that, like you said, you got hurt. When Nate getting hurt, when you getting hurt, the 5 games that you got to play, when you go back and you look at that film, to go a little bit deeper into it, from a mechanical standpoint, what did you see from yourself as a quarterback?
I saw myself develop through each game with my feet, with my reads. So my first game, it was obviously super fun. We won, but it just wasn't it. There was just some little thing that I felt wasn't right. The second game felt a little better. Then the third game is when I really felt good, and the third and the fourth game, and then I got hurt going into the 5th game. But the third and the fourth game is really when I started to pick it up a little bit, and then that's when I felt it.
What was it in the third and the fourth that you can really pinpoint those and say, like, those were the games where I really felt it? I felt good.
I took a minute on each play, or took like a couple seconds longer on each play, and just looked at the defense for a little bit.
Okay.
And one play sticks out to me. It was against Hayes, and we're running a little concept, and I knew it was like a little sticker out from the 3 receiver, and that was man. So I was like, okay, I can't throw that. And I knew they were going to fall out on my 2. He had an out route, so I knew I had to throw the whole shot on the 1, and I knew that before the snap. And I was like, oh my God, they're making me throw this. And I threw it, and it was a touchdown. And that was when I was really like, oh, like just think about things before I do them. And then everything was gone from there.
Who on the team, Bo, has taught you the most? When you look at the guys around you, who have you really taken the most from? I mean, is it Nate? Is it somebody else?
It probably, obviously, other players like Weston Stevens, our running back, and Marcelo. Like, they've obviously taught me a lot about how to be like poised back there. But Nate, I mean, just even when he was hurt, he had the best attitude. He was at every single practice, every single game, every single workout. And just like him being like, oh, like that's a really good throw, or like that's like just go here next time, and just like coaching me, it took so much from it.
Finding out a week before that you're going to play, how did you build your relationship with the receivers? Did you already feel like you had it with the receivers and the running backs and the tight ends with the skill guys, or did you have to kind of get there in a really quick fashion?
I felt like I had to get there a little bit. In the first game, it was there, and then the second game it was there. But I was saying, in the third and fourth game, I felt like we were like on and it was money.
So when you go into this season, where are things at in your opinion? How are you building off of that third and fourth game?
I mean, just going in, working, paying close attention to the details, because one little small detail, one little change in the route between a receiver is going to throw off timing. So you really got to pay close attention to that, and like coaching that and making sure everybody runs the same route. And I feel like with all my receivers, I'm pretty dialed in with right now.
I see quarterbacks trust their arm a lot. Some guys just they know where they're going, and it's almost like playing a PlayStation game. They know they're going to X, so they hike it. They're not even looking if X is open, and they're tossing it. Mm-hmm. Bring me into your field vision and how you try to make your checks and make your reads, and how well you think you are at surveying the field.
It depends on the play that we're running. So some plays I'll be like, oh, pre-snap, I'm going to see that, and I'll be like, I'm going to throw that.
Yeah.
Other throws, I sometimes have to go 1, 2 to 3, even to 4 sometimes. And it just depends on the play. But I feel like if I know, I just let it go. Like pre-snap, I'm not going to second guess myself. I'm just going to throw it.
So you have those plays, you have those moments. But like you said, making your reads after 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4. For, people, armchair quarterbacks are going to say all the time, why didn't he make that throw? But in the time that it takes for you to make 3 reads, 4 reads, how quickly are you doing that? How many seconds are going by within the period of, okay, no, sure, or no, yes, maybe, how quickly are you making this? Because I think people, they say a lot, but they don't know that the seconds, it's such a minimal time that feels like forever maybe when you're watching the game. But when you're making 3 to 4 reads, how short of a time span is that?
I think you got to have a good relationship with your offensive line. But to answer your question, probably about second and a half. I mean, it got to be bang, bang, bang.
I was gonna say 1.6 seconds was my guess. So
I mean, your mind knows where to go. It's just a matter of getting your feet around to it. Yeah. And I feel like now I'm starting to get better, and that time is starting to cut down. Just learning the offense, learning the receivers, knowing which throws I can make and which throws I probably shouldn't, and just move on.
So for you, it's coming to you. You understand it. Is there anything in your game that you really feel like? I mean, I know you work on everything, and that's what great players do is they, whatever they do well, you want to do better, and whatever you're not doing well, you need to do better. But is there really something in your game that's maybe frustrated you that you think, like, I really want to make sure that this is happening this year? Like, is there that one thing?
Yeah, I want to run the ball a little bit more. Okay. I've had meetings with Coach Mangino, and we've been working at my running a lot. Coach Jacobs, our cornerbacks coach and our strength and conditioning coordinator, I mean, he's done the best. I mean, him and then my trainer from Acceleration, Matt Neal, just working on me, just working every little detail, just little things about my running form, and that's important.
Because they write you down as pro style. Is that, I mean, how would you want people to describe you?
I don't know yet. Obviously, right now it has to be pro style because I didn't run last year. Yeah. But I mean, why not change it? Why not? Just run. And if I can change it, then to like a dual threat, obviously schools are going to like that better.
So for you, Bo, I mean, to make that transition and to push yourself, I think it's incredible, and it says something about you and what you want out of yourself. And because some guys will just rest in the laurels. Hey, I'm a pro style guy. I sit in the pocket. That's what I do. But you want more out of yourself. So what can you tell me about your legs and with working on this and the coaching staff and doing things and whatnot? Where are you at compared to where you want to go? Where is the process right now?
I'm not there yet, and I don't think I'll ever be there. But it's definitely improving. That
coming here from Bo Edmundson, hanging out with the 2023 quarterback from Lake Travis in Texas. inside of the Cafe Kubal studios here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You got to do the Under Armour All-American Camp in Dallas, Texas, which had Texas players as well as some players from neighboring states. Bring me into the Under Armour All-American Camp and what that was like for you.
Just seeing everybody around the state. I mean, I've seen like Twitters like from all around the state, but players all around the state, and seeing them in person playing against the best DB or against the best wide receiver. I mean, there's a reason why those guys have offers and why the others don't. I mean, those guys are insane. What
did you learn from the Under Armour camp? I mean, what did it teach you about your game, and what challenged you there?
I think it taught me that a lot of quarterbacks have the same skills as me, and I need to just like working on separating myself, tweaking my game a little bit, but not copying their game, just tweaking it a little bit and just separating myself.
How do you, when you go out and you see, and like you said, a lot of guys have the similar skill set, and you go, okay, a coach might see all 10 of us and think that we're all the same player. How do you separate yourself?
I think you just got to let it rip. I mean, one thing I think you just got to do is do not second guess yourself. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. Let's live with it, and let's just go on with it. But you've got to let it rip.
How short of a memory do you have? Because people in and out of football, I mean, in life in general, the longer you hold on to the past, the longer you sink, so to speak. So as a quarterback, you throw a touchdown pass, there's a whole game to play. I mean, whatever you do, you gotta let the good go quick. You got to let the interception, you got to let the incomplete go quick. How short of a memory do you have, and how good do you think you are at this point of good, bad, or indifferent of a play, being able to do it, know it, let it go, and go on to the next play?
I feel like I'm pretty good. Incompletions, interceptions, they've started to like not faze me at all. When I was younger, obviously, brain hasn't developed as much. Those would faze me a little bit, but having that phase me early on in my life and seeing how it would never work. It never works when you're phased by those, and just switching that and like being not phased by it. I mean, that's helped so much.
How do you swift that, change that gear? Because people are listening right now that just in general life are saying, how do I let go of the past? How do I let go of something that happened to me that I couldn't control, or something that I could control? What would you say to somebody that's caught up in someone did something to me, or I did something? How do you let it go? How do you turn that switch and then not, make sure that it doesn't turn back on, so to speak?
I think it's more so you got to have a support crew around you that's just amazing. My teammates, my parents, my coaches, they're always there with me. And my teammates, even when I'm in that round route game, when I make a couple bad decisions, they're always like, all right, let's go. Next drive, let's go. And I'm like, all right, yeah. I mean, plenty of time left on the game. We're fine.
How do you do it? The support system helping you to let things go, I appreciate that. How do you do it inward? When it's just you and game ends and you're on that field thinking about this play or that play, how do you get yourself out of it? How do you essentially become your own rechargeable battery port, so to speak?
I don't know if there's like necessarily a right answer for this question. I just think you just got to forget about it. I mean, it sounds simple enough, but you just got to forget about it and let the game just go, and just let it go and just next play.
Bo Edmundson hanging out here with us. I forget all the time how young you are, Bo, because you're obviously raised right. You're giving me answers that I'm taking into my life, and I know people 3 times your age can take. You got the Elite 11 coming up in Dallas, Texas, and then Oklahoma State has a camp for you at the beginning of June. Bring me into these 2 upcoming things. A lot of people know about the Elite 11, and then Oklahoma State, has offered you to come on campus and be a part of their camp in June as well.
So the Elite 11 thing, I mean, watching Hudson Card go through their process and watching it on YouTube and and being invited to join that family and to compete with those guys, I mean, that's something that I really, really am proud of. Just going out competing again, I'm going to see the best quarterbacks around, like the Under Armour All-American, and just see how my game's different, how I'm similar to other people.
And then with the camp at Oklahoma State, bring me into that.
I had a call with Coach Rattay, the QB's coach, and he invited me out, and he was like, "If you like, can you come?" I was like, "Absolutely, I'm there." This is probably going to be my. So when I was younger, I went to an A&M camp, but
Okay.
I was in 8th grade, had no film, so obviously they can't look at you. I mean, they have nothing to base you off of. So this is going to be the first real college camp that I'm going to be attending, and it's going to be cool.
Did they tell you what they're looking for, what you're going to be doing?
Yeah, so they said it's not going to be a big camp. It's going to be like 6 QBs. I don't know if they're going to bring in only the QBs that they've offered or QBs that they're looking at. But it's going to be a smaller group, which I'm excited about, and then we're going to like just throw, watch film, do one-on-ones, tour the facility, all of that.
That coming here from Bo Edmundson. Elite 11, like I said, a lot of people know that you hear Elite 11, you think best quarterbacks in the country. Bring me into just having the invite to be able to go there and just what that means, that from all over the nation, you're going to be out there with, you know, the people that are considered to be arguably the best of the best, and you're a part of that group.
It's something special. Just like, again, they are acknowledging that like my dream, they're accepting. They're like, yeah, let's carry your dream on. Like Elite 11 is definitely a how would I say this, is like a staple in like a quarterback's journey. I mean, you see all these NFL quarterbacks who have gone through the Elite 11. I mean, it's definitely a check mark, which is super cool.
Yeah, and it's a great opportunity for you as you step forward here. 2 schools that have yet to offer you in this moment, but that could change. Kentucky and Texas have been speaking with you. Bring me into what life has been like with Kentucky as well as with Texas. I know you've spoken with Kentucky once, and I know that you've spoken with Texas a bunch of times.
Yeah, so Kentucky, Coach Mangino he coached at Kentucky for 3 years, and the same staff who he coached under is there, so he has a great relationship with them.
Yeah,
and that's something that's awesome. Just like him, like he still texts with them, just like jokes around with them. I mean, that's crazy to think that my coach is like still connected with a college, like a major college.
Yeah, you know, and having these connections and, you know, the life of, I mean, they talk about networking and the importance of building bridges and never tearing them down. The entire time we've talked about, you know, offers, teams interested in you, different things that have happened. You got this coach that used to be here, this one that did this guy that knows that. I mean, just how important you've learned at a young age to, you know, be the best you can be at all times, to be the best Bo Edmundson that you can be, because you never know who you're around and you never know how it's going to pay off.
Exactly. You just got to always just stay on your course. Just keep going. I mean, things are going to fall in place. Just keep going. Things are going to change. Don't overreact about it. Just be patient.
2023, we got some time. What should the nation know? To the schools that have not offered you yet, what should they know about Bo Edmundson? Why do they take you, offer you? Why do they believe that you can lead their team moving forward?
Just know you're just going to get somebody who's going to work. Just be patient. Just somebody who's just going to be level. And I think that's important playing the quarterback position. If you're just level-headed the whole game, then you'll be perfect.
Bo, final piece. You and I will get to have some fun here, play some rapid fire, ask each other a trio of questions, 3 apiece. I'll go, then you'll go, and we'll go back and forth here. I don't know what Bo's going to say. He doesn't know what I'm going to say. My first question to you, Bo, if you could spend a day with any quarterback, living or dead, who would you spend 24 hours with and why?
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Why?
No,
Why?
his motion is perfect. I mean, perfect. Even in the video game, even in like Madden, it's crazy watching him play in the championship, the divisional championship against the Bucks.
Yeah.
I know they lost, but I was like, he's the GOAT. Don't come at me.
Okay, fair enough. What's your first one for me?
If you could eat anything for the rest of your life, what do you got?
Man, I can eat anything for the rest of my life. There's a lot of things that I like, and I'm a kid. I eat Fruit Loops and Lucky Charms at all hours of the day. So, Honey Nut Cheerios, Cinnamon Toast. I like cereal. I would have to say, if I had to pick, though, at my heart of hearts, I'm a Ninja Turtle. So I'd probably eat pizza if I could only choose one thing.
Never a bad option.
No, I'd probably, and you can always put different toppings on it. So probably pizza or my homemade nachos, because my homemade nachos they're pretty awesome. I will say that. My second one for you, Bo, is if somebody came to you today and said, Bo, I'm going to hand you a time capsule, and it's going to be open 50 years from now, what 3 things do you put in it?
Harper, my dog, who it would preserve her, so she would still be alive.
Okay.
So Harper. Something I'd remember, like, oh my God, I had that as a kid. Probably my Jeep, my first car.
Okay.
So my Jeep. And then a football.
And a football. Okay. Any special one?
My Lake Travis ball.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. What's your second one for me? I like that.
Favorite fast food French fries.
Oh.
I'm a food guy, so I'm just going food route.
I'm gonna have to say, because it's different, I gotta rock with my Chick-fil-A. I gotta rock with my waffles.
Okay, thank you. I tried to have an argument with somebody and they didn't agree. I was like,
Yeah, people are like, waffle fries aren't fries. They're fries.
Yes,
They're
they are.
just in waffle form. Like,
they're fries. They're fries.
they're fries. They're called waffle fries. They're not called waffle bits or waffle potatoes. It's called waffle fries for a reason. I love it. I think it's creative. I think it's unique. And
It's something different. Nobody else has it. Nobody else has it.
No, and I love Chick-fil-A. And Jimmer Sikowski, shout out to you, brother. He knows I love Chick-fil-A. So, yeah, waffle fries. All right, you like food, so my third one to you will be food-oriented.
Answer is Chick-fil-A.
Okay, I love it. So, give me, well, you kind of answered it, but give me your top fast food place. It's a 3-parter. Top fast food, top meal that your family makes at home, and top thing that you would cook for yourself.
Top fast food, Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Top meal that would cook at home.
Yeah.
Probably just some Debbie whipping up some spaghetti and meatballs.
Okay.
See Italian sausage with French bread.
All right. So mom's making spaghetti and meatballs,
Yep, that is.
Italian sausage. Okay.
Yep, and then
And what are you making? Can you cook?
yeah, I'm going my chicken parmesan.
Oh, so you make chicken parmesan? How old are you, Bo?
I'm 16.
16 years old, and you know how to make chicken parmesan?
Not that hard. Just got to watch a YouTube video, but I know how to do it by now.
Mom is doing good work with you, Bo.
I haven't even made it for her yet.
You haven't made it for her, so you just made it for you.
She was out of town, so I was like, I'm making chicken parmesan.
All right. I respect that. Very much so. Good for you. I love it. All right. Well, when you make it for Mom, I want to know what she thinks, because when I come down to Texas, I want to try it.
Boom. Perfect.
What's your last one for me?
Favorite sport growing up?
Favorite sport growing up?
And where did you grow up? Did you grow up in New York?
I grew up in New York, yeah.
Okay.
So
Could throw in a hockey, which I'm not used to.
yeah, no, I always, I mean, it's got to be bad. I mean, the first thing I ever did was pick up a basketball, so it's got to be basketball. I mean, God gave me the ability to shoot. I trained myself to be able to shoot with both hands, shoot anywhere on the court. Now that I actually do cardio, I can give the stamina to my shot. And so I say, I think now at 35 years old, I might play my best basketball. So I love basketball. I also love football. And I like to play quarterback when I go. You can show me some technique, but I do like to, I sling it a little bit. And when we played flag football and whatnot, I tried to air it out a little bit. Not as good as you.
Air it out. Just throw it up there.
Just let it go. But with that being said, Bo Edmundson here with me. Bo, I appreciate you so much. You know, such a good young man, such an awesome guy. Lake Travis rocking this. The letter from your mom, Debbie, and you, it means the world to me. It's actually right up in my kitchen. There's kind of like a stained glass thing that I have, and it's right there. So every time I turn around and go toward the fridge, it's facing me all the time. So I want to say thank you for that. I want to say thank you for, everything that you've given. And I'm so happy to be a part of your journey. And in all honesty, I can't wait to meet you face to face soon. And at the same time, hopefully come to see one of your games as well.
Games should be 100%, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. And the fact I got to try some chicken parmesan. That's what I got.
Chicken parmesan and some Texas barbecue. Austin barbecue.
Okay, Austin. I've been to Houston, but Austin barbecue. Okay. Why is Austin so good at barbecue?
Just got the best.
Okay. Is there a sauce or something they do to it?
Sauce. No sauce. You don't need sauce.
No sauce. What am I getting in the barbecue? Am I getting brisket? Am I getting rib? What am I getting?
You go to Cooper's, you can get whatever you want.
Okay.
I'm a brisket guy, though.
I'm a brisket guy, too, and not a lot of people do it right.
Cooper's does.
So Cooper's in Austin, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. That coming from the man, Bo Edmundson. Bo, 2023 quarterback and constantly training himself. So you can call him pro style, but he's working on them legs. Got a lot to offer. He has SMU, UTSA, and Oklahoma State already, and plenty more to come, I'm sure. Bo, thank you for your time here on Wake Up Call inside the Cafe Kubal studios. And as always, I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
That coming here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora from Bo Edmundson. Bo Edmundson, the 2023 quarterback coming out of Lake Travis in Texas. And great story. And I love telling it, love having him here on the show. He's been on before with his mother, Debbie, and it's been incredible. We actually had Carl Sanfilippo on here, too, and his connection to... It's really cool how small the world is, because Carl Sanfilippo connected with Debbie Edmundson from Baldwinsville, from C.W. Baker High School. Because they connected, then Debbie has Bo, and then she connects back with Coach Sanfilippo, who talks with me about Bo, and then we get Bo on the show. So, very small world and really awesome. So, thank you so much to Bo Edmundson for joining. Thank you to Debbie. Thank you to Carl and to everybody that is working hard to make sure that this young man has a bright and amazing future. And I hope for Debbie and the entire family that you do as well. And obviously, Coach Sanfilippo, always hoping he has a great future. So, a lot of great stuff here with Bo today. We're going to take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, we'll get you set and ready for what's coming up in the Fantasy Football Power Hour right after this fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life.
Cafe Cabal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafecubal.com. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpassnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is absolutely worth a drive every time. Make sure you download their app and on the Apple app or Google Play Store, and you'll have the entire menu at your fingertips, from their homemade breads and desserts to their salads and quinoa bowls, rice bowls, as well as their brick oven pizzas and their sandwiches named after the families that helped to settle today's Pulaski. So I truly appreciate everything that Millhouse Market does in our community. They're open Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. inside for the restaurant, as well as the general store and the drive-thru. And on Sundays, all three open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. So make sure you make your way out to the Millhouse Market on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York. Worth the drive every single time. Trust me, I know. And I've gone out there and I've gotten so many different things from their local sourced honeys to the maple syrups that they have. I just picked up a bacon like dry rub, and of course I go in there for the crepes and the breakfast pizzas and so many amazing things at the Millhouse Market. It is truly second to none, and that is why it is worth the drive every time. With that being stated here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, I want to thank you for being a part of the show today. As far as hour number 1, we're jumping into hour number 2 here. And in hour number 2 of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is obviously every Wednesday the Fantasy Football Power Hour. The Fantasy Football Power Hour is proudly presented and powered by the Wildcat Sports Pub on 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York. And that will be coming up in just a second. So for those of you on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, you don't have to move a muscle, as well as those of you on wakeupcalldt.com. For those of you on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live, we will end this video and start a new one.